So hi everyone, welcome back in the another video. So today I am sharing the interview experience with NeoSoft technology, and NeoSoft company is basically hiring for a React developer, and on Nokri I am apply for this job, and on 31st January I am receiving call from NeoSoft HR, and she said, "Okay, we are shortlisted your profile for interviewer, and your interview is conducted on tomorrow." So tomorrow means first of Feb, and she said the timing will comfortable. You give me time, then I will send that timing to the interviewer, and we take interview. So basically I'm saying okay, I'm fine with 2 or 3 p.m. in the afternoon time, because still I am because at that time I am working on my Barney farm project, and so that's why I feel like I need some time to revise my concept, and because revision is important, and I don't revise anything from previous couple of days, and due to that I need some extra time. So that's why I am asking that HR, rather than conducting interview on Saturday, you can conduct interview on Sunday, because that 2 days time for me to revise my React basics, and JavaScript, HTML, CSS. And she say no, that uh, the Sunday and Saturday Sunday is off, so that's why we need to take the interview tomorrow itself. So then say okay, I'm fine. So basically today I am recording this video, so I am sharing the exact the interview questions from NeoSoft company. So NeoSoft company is basically creating a software for State Bank of India. So it's a very big company, and the followers on this NeoSoft company page on LinkedIn is around 107K. It's massive, and this is a MNC type company, and my first round is happen on the 1st of February, and that time the duration of that first round is 12 minute, and the interviewer C is asking me couples of questions from JavaScript, React, Redux, as well as CSS also. So the interview is start from JavaScript. This is asking me what is the difference between synchronous and asynchronous in JavaScript. So I just telling her the synchronous means your code is executing line by line. So, for example, we using set timeout in your synchronous function for 5 seconds. That time your code will execute. Wait till the executing of 5 seconds. After executing, he move further. So this is nothing but asynchronous and synchronous. And asynchronous operations means we context switch between your code. So when I am using asynchronous operation in my React.js, that time your code is context switch. When I am using do one API call and do using some set timeout, that time your code never stop till the execution. The code is a context switch, move further, next line execute, and return output. And after the completion of that time exact, he returns your previous code. So this is nothing but asynchronous and synchronous difference. So it is very easy. I am do this explanation to the ma'am clearly, and after that she say, "Oh, okay, then JavaScript is synchronous or asynchronous language." Then I'm say JavaScript is a asynchronous language, and after that she said, "Okay, tell me the difference between var late keyword." So basically, where is based on a functional scope, and late is based on block scope. So this is one line of statement I said to her, and that's it. And after that, she say, "What is closure?" So closure is nothing but one function. So, what is exactly closure? I am talking with you. Means closure is nothing but one function. Means parent function, no? And inside that one child function is there. So after completion of that parent function, we call their parameters after execution. This is nothing but a closure. So this is a closure concept, and it's very important. Then she said, what, okay, then tell me what is difference between promise.r, promise.in. So basically I don't know about this. So I said, sorry, I don't know about that. But the exactly promise.all is executing all promised at time. But when one promise is reject from that all promises, then your it gives an reject error something. So I don't know too much about that. After I am explaining, I am copy paste all code and just send to chat gpt and try to take an answer from chat gpt rather than doing after some time. I am try to do right now, because then otherwise the time is become too lengthy for me, and as well use. So the chat gpt gives me response, and okay. So basically, he said, what is the difference between Flex and Grid? So Flex is a one-dimensional layout, and Grid is a two-dimensional layout. And Grid had a property rows and columns, and also Flex has a Flex box. Actually, I that time I am not able to recall. I might be confusing that time. I'm thinking what is Plex and Plexbox. She asking me about Plexbox. Maybe it's that time I am not remember that. So due to that I am not able to answer about Flexbox. So this is basically CSS layout, and Flexbox is used for one dimensional and Grid is used for two dimensional. And the alignment for flex was easier for spacing and alignment, and it is more control over grid based layout. And use case for flexbox is navbar and centering items. We use justify content, align item center something. And for grid complex layout, dashboard, and gallery something. And after that the next question is, what is the synchronous and unsynchronous? So synchronous versus asynchronous. So execute tasks one at a time in order and blocking. For example, for loop. Okay, you can understand. Execute one task at a time. It is nothing but synchronous. And asynchronous means execute task independently or blocking. Uh, when I am executing something, I am already said you can use set timeout or fetch. That time we asynchronously context switch your code or not blocking our code. So this is nothing but synchronous and asynchronous. And after the difference between var late and const. Okay, var and late, not asking const. So var is a function scoped, and late is a block scoped. And hosting, at that time, the when I am giving an interview, that time I don't recall that hosting means. So for that time I just talking about her the function and a block swap, that's it. And I never move further. So hosting is initialized and defined. So what is hosting means, when I am define one var, and that time, before declaration, I am console that value of a. It is and that code is executed and that error is undefined when I am using var. But when I am using late, it hosted but not initialized. Means I am hosted that value but I am not able to initialize, so that's why it gives temporary dead zone. This is an error from the you receiving that time, and redeclaration in where is allow but late is not allow for redeclaration. Then what is closure? Closure is a function that remember lexical scope even when executed outside it. Okay, so closure is a function that remember its lexical scope even when executed outside it. So this is a function and it is outer, and this is a lexical scope of this function. And I am increment and then calling this function and increment the value. Count is here and the value is 1. So this is I am using this function is a outer function, then return this inner function. The inner function increment your count and give a result. So basically, my first things is I'm not calling this inner function yet. Okay, then I said const increment, then outer function I am calling after this lexical after execution of this code. So this is nothing but the closure in a javascript. Then she said, okay, the what is the difference between promises dot all and promises dot na? So promises dot all promises resolve, or promises dot na is a first promise resolve, and any promise fails, it's fails, and all promises fails when it fails something. The difference between function arrow and arrow function and function. So she asking me about don't say me this is a traditional conscious rather than syntax. What is the difference, key difference between function and arrow function? So this binding for a function is a dynamic. This value is changed. But in arrow function, this is a lexical, depends on your lexical environment, and this refers to the outer scope of your environment. And yeah, this is all about function and arrow function. Then she said, okay, tell me the what is use effect. So use effect is nothing but react hook. It is used for side effect when we are calling some api and api or subscription. That time we use effect, and how the use effect runs. So basically use effect take two parameter. First is a callback function and another is a dependency array. The value in the dependency array gets changed, that time your function is re-render. How runs after the component re-render. The use effect is run after your component re-render, and this is callback function, and this is an dependency array. Then she said the on the okay, the next question, what is the difference between use callback and use memo? So basically use callback use used for avoiding extra re-render in your components, and use memo is used for memoizing your function. And use callback and use memo, these both function are both hooks are used for react optimization techniques. This is, so we can check out the use callback is a memoize function, and use memo is memorize a value. Okay, so use callback is a memorize your function, and use memo is memorize a value. So use callback returns a function, use memo is returns exactly the value. And event handler use case for use callback is event handlers, and use case for the use memo is expensive calculation. How to get value from URL? So she said, okay, this is chatgpt.com, this is a URL. So I wanted to take this is the last four digit from that URL. So how you can return me that value exactly from the URL? So I say we can use params. So example, from React router DOM we use params. So use params React router DOM, this is one hook. And we assign const as id, and assigning this is give me, let me check this code, and it's run successfully and not he give me and output I wanted to check. Let me check. And this definitely helpful for you guys, because definitely when you wanted to give an next time interview, these questions might be helpful for you, because they sometimes interviewer asking repeated questions. And the first round is a telephonic or your theory round, and after that second round is a machine coding round. you know in machine coding round, the depends on the interview asking whatever he want, and I am running this code, and it show and gives an error because I am not installing React.dom package something. So I am cancel that. And after the next question is what is the techniques of React optimization? Optimization techniques is code splitting, react.lazy, then memoization, react.memo, use memo, and use callback. So use callback basically return a function, memoize function, and use memo is returns value. Avoiding unnecessary re-render, virtualization, React.window, and debugging and throttling. So this is very important concepts for optimization techniques, and you need to focus when you wanted to give an interview. This is a very important concept. Yeah, definitely you are giving an interview for experienced person, then definitely interview accept the answer of this question from you as an experienced person. So the next question is how authentication work in a front end. Token based authentication is done. User login and receives a token, example JWT, JSON Web Token, and that token is stored in a local storage or cookies, and token sent with each request for authorization. So this is nothing but the overall how authentication and authorization work in a front end. Then difference between session storage and local storage. And session storage until tab browser is closed, means we store any value in a session storage, that value still exists, we on that tab, and when we closed that browser, the session storage we stored a value in session storage. When we closed that browser or tab, that value will be removed. But in local storage, until When we store that value, we need to manually delete that value from our local storage. When we stores once, it still remains there couple of times until we don't delete that value. And the capacity for session storage is 5 MB, and for local storage is 10 MB, and scope is per tab and shared across tab. Okay, then what is a higher order component? So higher order components is nothing but one function. It takes and components and return a new components is nothing but a higher order components. So this is, let me check what I am saying is right. So higher order components are a function that takes component and return enhanced component. Okay, let me check. So this is my function, and I am taking component as and props and console log re-render component dot name. So what is the name of component and returning component? This is, so I am created this component somewhere else. If I am running this code, let me check what is the exactly output, because sometimes in machine coding rounds or in your theory round also depends on interview asking you, okay, then can you explain me, or rather than saying directly implement, yeah, what are you saying right now? So for this I need to create this is component, so I don't want to do that, and we move further. Then I don't know he the C is asking me these questions or not, but what is our error boundaries? React components that catch JavaScript error. So try and catch method using try and catch. In child components, we can use component did catch and get derive state from error something. I don't know too much about this, but I need to work on that. After that, she asking me, okay, you know Redux? I say yeah. I am confidently saying yes, but I don't know Redux. I know Redux toolkit. I am working at using every day in my projects. So this is my wrong call. I am saying yes to her, and she asking me, okay, then what is middleware in Redux, and then, tell me the difference between Redux Thunk and Redux Sega. So I don't know. So I said, sorry, ma'am, I don't know about that. So Redux Thunk handles asynchronous actions using function. Okay, so Redux Thunk is used for handling asynchronous actions using function, and redux.sega is uses generator functions yield to manage side effects. For managing side effect, in above we use effect, but in redux we use redux sega for using side effect. Then she asking me what is the difference between git clone, git fetch, and git pull. So I don't know asking about what is git clone. So definitely she said what is git fetch and git pull. So git clone is a copies remote repository to locally, and I am not using yet git fetch, so I don't able to answer this question. Then she said updates local branch without merging. So git fetch is used for updates local branch without merging. Okay, and git pull fetches and merges changes. So when I am working in a company and I wanted to see another developer what he will do exactly, and I try to see some changes, and that time I am using git pull for seeing the changes from that another developer, and that's it. And also she asking me about what is the difference between let me, okay, put and patch method. What is difference in put and patch. So I know something went wrong generating response. This issue persisted. Please contact us through. Why that issue? Let me regenerate and okay. So difference between put and patch method in a JavaScript is nothing but put is used for update entire resource. I know that I'm using somewhere. Okay. Put is used for updating the entire resources and patch method is used for update a part of the resources. Request type idempotent. Same request always has the same result. Okay. No necessarily idempotent and data center required completely data of resources requires only fields that update and you can read whatever. So this is nothing but my interview experience and finally this whole questions asking me in the time of duration 12 minutes. This is my first interview as a three floors. So this is my first interview after a couple of days later, and this amazing experience for me. Definitely, I try to improve myself in next interview because this is a duration of interview is not good. And when you feel I know that answer, but it's very important how you explain that answer to the interviewer is more important because I know synchronous, so I am explaining this well. I know where late difference, but that time I am not recalling that what thrifting something. So I am not able to recall this second point what is exactly the hosting. Okay, that time, so due to that I am not able to say this and this to the interviewer. And I am also explaining what is closure. So when we are explaining one concept to interviewer, it's very easy to say in theory, but you know a practical as well. So this is a bunch of questions she is asking me, and that's too much. And this is my first interview experience. I hope this video is helpful for you. See you in the another video. Bye.